night, but not for the passengers of the train of dreams, the train which is rumored to make wishes come true. In first class sat Detective Pikeridge, twiddling and fumbling around with his girthy cigar. Right behind him sat me, Danny Baggs, a sophomore at the Grink School for Naughty Young Boys. I was staring at the funky pocket locket in my hand, a gift from my dad, when all of a sudden I heard something slightly unusual. Ah! Oh shit, someone stabbed my fucking husband! Ah! Wow. Train of dreams, huh? More like the train of nightmares, I said to myself, and snickered loud enough to make people look in my direction. Ah, shit. Too loud. Well, there's another one dead, said the detective to himself loudly. Too loudly. People got concerned. Everyone started looking at him and getting concerned about what he meant. The detective stood up. My name is Detective Pikeridge, but that's not all. He pulled out a badge from his jacket. I'm also a cop. Everyone gasped. I'm on this here train because people keep getting murdered here, and I'll be damned to figure it out. The detective took a soft, yet milky puff on his cigar. Boy, hand me that there knife. He pointed to the knife. The boy, me, retrieved the knife at once, but upon attempting to return it to the Detective Pikeridge, the train hit a speed bump, and the knife went straight into the heart of the detective. Oh, anticlimactic. By rules of detection, I became the new head detective. I lifted the slightly wet, yet smoking cigar from his mouth and placed it into my own. I took a few puffs. Well, I guess I'm taking over from here, I said. Oh, actually, hey, I'm a cop too. Now don't worry, I said. I'll find this killer and I'll bring him or herm to justice. Just then I heard screaming coming from the car next to ours. No need to panic. Time to reveal this criminal before he hurts anyone else. I delicately wrapped my hands around the doorknob and turned it slowly. Too slowly, apparently, because the entire occupancy of the next train car over had already been butchered. Shit. I unlinked the rest of the train to make sure people didn't notice my gross incompetence. Phew. I turned back around to the passengers in the car with me. Sorry, guys, I think that, the door's jammed or locked or something. It won't budge. That's when I noticed something. A new victim. I rushed over and began to gather evidence. Wait a second. I quickly scooped up some blood from the body and tasted it. These wounds, they're fresh. That must mean the murder is inside this very train car. I looked around my fellow passengers and determined that they all checked out. So if it isn't the passengers, then it must be the train? Suddenly, a knife flew through the window, just barely missing me. Just then, more stuff began to fly through the windows too. It was then that everything clicked. Someone must have wished for this. I had to undo the wish, but to do that, I'd need to do the unthinkable. A wish is a dream. A wish is a dream. So I had to turn this train into a living nightmare. I started running at other passengers with a knife, going nyuk, nyuk, nyuk. A woman quivering in the corner shouted, "This is literally my nightmare." "Wait, that's good. No, wait. Yeah, that's great. Keep that up." I slurred at her. I was severely intoxicated, by the way. After many minutes, nothing had changed. In fact, even more people were dead than when I initially started. I sat down on the warm ground, the moist cigar falling out of my defeated lips. I pulled out my special locket. I wish my dad were here. He'd know what to do. "Dad!" I yipped. My dad responded. "What should we do about this mystery?" My dad screamed a bit more, but what he really meant to say was that this train was cursed. The only way I could defeat it was by making an arrest. I began to sprint to the front of the train. I'd have to take it down at its source, the brain if you will. I finally made my way through the shaft and found myself at the head. To my dismay, I found that no one was piloting the train, except for 2 men. "What are you doing here?" shrieked the fat one. "Get out!" screamed the obese one. I quickly removed their faces. "Out of the way. Official cop business," I said over their now lifeless bodies. I pulled out my set of trusty handcuffs and attached them to 2 metal rods inside of the train. "Give up. It's over." The train surrendered and grinded to a halt. After the train completely stopped, I started beating it with my nightstick without reading it its Miranda rights. Everyone got off the train. "Where are we?" asked a woman. I smiled. If I had to guess, somewhere safe.